Hello and welcome back to Gratuitous Space Battles 2. My name's Negative Root and let's get cracking. Let's play mission number 9. Now it's been a few days since my last mission and I must admit this one had me stumped. And there's a reason for that. And I've stuck with the same broad tactic as before, the hammers and the venoms. Now the only thing is though that I've had to introduce a hammer carrier in order to get a specialized mission fighter out there. This is it. Now, I have no idea if it's effective or not. It just seems to help me win this mission. So, I'm going to go with it. And, yeah. So let me save it so that it doesn't forget it. Save, yes, skip, go back. So, they're on escort duty out in front. Now, the reason I was having so much trouble with this, and I'll show you why, is because they've got a lot of fighters, okay? So they've got a lot of fighters, and they have extremely sharp teeth. They're like piranha. And, like my fleet, you'll watch in the first charge, let me just speed this up a little bit, you'll see what happens, and I was really struggling with it. So the only answer I had was, yeah, get some fighters out there to fight fire with fire. Or to fight fighters with fighters. Either or. Now, let me just zoom in here. And slow it right down. You can see that we do some good damage, but then suddenly it's just like, hello. All the damage onto the cruisers. Like, you can see that they just wipe the shields out so fast. And I suspect it's because of some sort of either anti-shield bomb or yeah, some sort of disruptor ray, I don't know. But they have extremely sharp teeth, and the good news is actually this is actually going quite well for us, because normally they'll slag at least one cruiser's shields. We can see though that right now we're getting the opportunity to fire on their frigates, and yeah, so we're able to slag down these targets very quickly. They don't last very long against us. You can see that we've got our fighter support still online, and the venoms, I don't know. They don't seem strong enough for anti-fighter support. I would have thought that there'd be like this solid line with, you know, anti-fighter destroyers and anti-fighter fighters that we could deal with these, but they just seem to get through and really cause some havoc. You can see that we're now ranging on this destroyer here. Oh, sorry, this dreadnought. And normally we win quite quickly. See here, that's a destroyer. That's another destroyer. So there's two destroyers copping a bit of damage, but apart from that, we're mostly okay. Our cruisers are still at full health. Get in here for this dreadnought to blow up. You see, it took out two destroyers for us while we're going. So that's pretty good. And it took me a long time to figure out a strategy that would work here, because it's just very, very hard to stop those little fighters. I had several ideas, several different cracks at it, and none of them really worked too well. And I did actually have a better solution. So this is 33%. I did have a better solution. It was a 30% solution, but it wasn't reliable. I only won a handful of times out of the 10 or so I tried it. So I scrapped it and figured I'd go for something a little bit more reliable. You can see here that we're doing really well in the battle. Let's get in here and have a look. Oh yeah, cop the pain. Get a couple of shots in. There we go. We got his shields. Look at those missiles. Boom. Just taking chunks out of him. Oh yeah, there's a salvo. Cop that in the teeth. So those two little cruisers, they won't last long. Couple of salvos and they'll be done and dusted. Oh, nearly. That one's going. Going. There's another dreadnought coming in down there. And I found that positioning made less of a difference in this game because these ships are so fast. These little destroyers were so quick. So the enemy closes with you so fast that your position on the map doesn't really make too much difference. I put them up here because I noticed that these had no, they were kind of slow and they didn't really have any propulsion support, so I ran away basically. Oh, there goes that destroyer. We're down to 70%. Let's just speed things up a bit so we get in range. Slow them down. Oh, look at those missiles. No, they missed. Missiles. And they missed. How can you miss? It's bright orange. Maybe that's that new stealth orange paint that they've got. Oh, oh, oh. Oops, I didn't mean to press that. Just trying to turn off those information. Well, they're wading through the fire. You can see that what we're throwing out though is pretty bloody heavy. There it goes. And now we're down to 16%. Basically, we take one of the two out and we've got the battle won. So that's pretty good. Now, yeah, I found it so tough because the fighters were just so potent. And as you can see on the left, I've still lost a fair amount of ships and taken a fair amount of damage. And that's only because of the force mix, and it was very, very hard to counter what the computer had in this scenario. It was very hard to find a really hard counter to just destroy any kind of aspirations they had of winning the battle. Well, we're nearly there. We just lost the shields on that cruiser. So right now I've got kind of 2.5 cruisers taking on a dreadnought and a cruiser. Probably a mismatch in any other game, but there we go. So that's the win. Let's jump back to the battle here. Deploy. There we go, 33%. That's my solution. Thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next mission, which will be the second last one. It'll be mission number 10.